Imagine walking into your boss's office and giving notice because your writing has become your primary revenue stream. Or your podcast is successful enough that you can quit your day job. Or maybe having your marketing on autopilot so you can spend your time on the art career you love rather than on marketing. Are you a creative person who's great at what you do, but marketing makes you freeze? You're not alone. I help passionate, purpose-driven creatives overcome fear, find their brand voice, and build a marketing strategy that works for them. Oh yeah, I also make it easy and painless. It's never too late to grow the business you've been dreaming about. Book an introductory call with me, Rob Southgate, at southgatesmallbusiness.com today. And let's take the pain out of marketing together. Welcome to Alley Chats. I am your host, Rob Southgate. I think you're a returning guest on the show. If not, you're going to be at some point because you're always a welcome guest. I've got Marc Alan Fishman. He's a comic book creator, comic book company creator, and look, I'm trying to speak properly. He's a aspiring, would we call you a DJ, a radio host out there in the radioverse, and he's also I don't know, he's a friend of mine. That's a surprise. Almost everyone I have on here is a friend of mine. So Marc, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Marc, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? Because after this, it's just going to be jackassery. So
works for me. Well, like you said, I am 1/3 of Unshaven Comics, an independent comic book brand that has been running now 15 plus years. If we actually figure out what's beyond 15, it makes us feel that much older. But we've been self-publishing original comic books and graphic novels ever since. I myself write and draw half of our Samurnauts series, which is our all-ages action-adventure series. I've also done some work with Mine, a graphic novel for Planned Parenthood that was released through Comic Mix. And we also, our first book was The March Crossing Bridges in America, which was published by Mendoza Publishing, or Mendoza Press. That was our book that kind of kicked us off. And aside from making comics, I also am a husband, father of 4. So, as you know, that means I have just ample time to do anything I'd like.
Which is why I haven't seen you in 2 years or something.
You know, it also doesn't help that Unshaven Comics cannot seem to get into Chicago comic shows.
Well, you know, I mean, I could make a call and get that bar lifted, but I don't think I'm going to.
I got to send the check first, right?
Ah, that's right. That's
there
right. Yeah, in fact, they're chumps for not putting you in everything. They should always have Unshaven Comics, in my opinion. So there we go.
I mean, if
I drew a line in the sand.
We've given Reed plenty of money, but I understand how it goes. And for those that really want to get into the weeds about it, Reed actually introduced a rule this year that prevents Unshaven Comics from ever being in an artist alley.
What is this rule?
So I just happened to be reading the fine print to the New York Comic-Con application, where it detailed that no groups or studios would be allowed to fill out an application for an artist alley, and that would be an instant disqualification.
Oh, right. They want you to pay for a booth.
Right. Or it's basically, I want an artist at this table, or you can go splitsies, but like you're not affiliated with one another.
Wow.
So, and then I went back and looked. They put the same language in the C2E2 one. They just didn't highlight it.
That's interesting. I should probably write to Art Baltasar and ask him about that, because Oh Yeah Comics, they always have a nice big presence in Artist Alley. They are a huge draw in there. What you're doing is you're sticking it to the indie comics people.
I was about to say the difference
outrageous.
Between Art and Franco and Unshaven Comics is they're Art and Franco.
Yeah, so. True. But you know what? If that rule's in there, it applies.
You would think. It's when we saw it, it was definitely curious and a little sad, but it's not preventing us from applying. We do every year, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I was on the website for C2E2. There was actually a picture of you with a line through it. So now I understand exactly what's going on here.
Don't take money from this man.
Yeah, it was actually brought to you by Gillette too, which Unshaven, that would,
See, I would personally blame Dan Doherty, but that's me.
All right. So, well, if I have any pull, you're back in. How's that?
Hey, we'll take any help we can get, for sure.
Good. Excellent. You know me, I find help. I do things. So, yes. Okay, the other thing you didn't mention that you do is at the cons you would do like your mashups. Are you still doing that?
I am, yes. Poke mashups, for the uninitiated, started out as a dare and has blown up into something that we can't quite get our finger on. So traditionally at the table, there are 3 Unshaven Comics. Like I said, there's myself, there's Kyle Nepper, who is our dedicated salesman. You know him because he carries this sign at all times. And then Matt Wright, who is our dedicated artist. He's personable, but he likes to sit in the middle and just draw. And I sit on the edge, and I'm always sort of in between. Sometimes I pitch, sometimes I talk to people like Rob and, market and try to get the business going. And
wait, we're not marketing or pitching when you and I are talking at these
No,
days.
But that's what we call it.
That's what we call it, yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
No, and so anyway, Matt turns to me long enough ago that I don't want to say when. And he's like, hey, why aren't you drawing at the table? You're half the art team here, and I don't see any commissions and stuff. And I said, well, I'm digital first, and I have been for a very long time. I don't even know where I would start. And he convinced me to just do some sketch cards. I did the character Domo-kun from Japan for a long time. I just did these little domos, and I mashed Domo up because people would come up and they'd want a Superman Domo or a whatever. And when I got to a point where it wasn't really making enough money, it was fun, but I'm lugging the markers and all the other stuff around.
Right.
So on one of our trips home, because we drive to all these shows, and, when you're in the car 10, 12, 14 hours, you talk about everything. Matt dares me and says, well, why don't you use that graphic design skill to, make a product or something? And I was like, okay, yeah. Well, these mashups seem to be going well, and it just happened to be at the time, like, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do the first 4 Pokemon. I'm going to mash them up with Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and Spider-Man. The most popular things you could possibly get away with. I'll print up 25 of each of them, and I'll sell them for dinner money. And we had just gone down to Dragon Con in Atlanta, put them on the table. They sold out in a day, all of them. Wow. I was like, well, that's a good sign. So the next year, I had purchased a rack, the postcard rack, because everything's just 4x6, and I filled up the rack, 24 slots, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I can just put this at the end of the table, people can spin it, buy some, and be good. The problem is, with 24 designs, is that people bought, and then they made suggestions that were way too good to not do. So then I bought a second rack, and it's like, okay, 2 is enough. There's no need for any more. And then, much like my own children, 3 and 4 showed up, and I didn't even plan on it. And now I've got enough to...
That 4th rack is called Oops.
Maybe the 3rd rack, too, but...
Yeah.
No, so I have 4 racks now. I cannot expand any further because that takes up an entire table unto itself. We've vacillated between letting Pokemashups buy its own table and be a part of the experience. And I think we have landed next year, we are going to broaden it to include not just Pokemon. So we're going to do posters and some other mashup things and
very good.
See if that can't sustain. Because really, when you're in the Artist Alley, there's kind of 2 different ways to go about getting business, right? There's the type that can just sit there and generate funds because people come, look, there's no discussion. It's, I want that thing, they buy the thing.
Yeah.
Pokemashups are that. And then there's the type that you pitch. And we figure the best thing that could ever happen to us is that if someone is flipping through Pokemon and they hear the pitch to our book, they'll go buy the book. and it works.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, we just came back from Heroes Con in North Carolina, and according to my tally, probably a dozen or so folks ended up purchasing books while they were perusing the Pokemon, and then vice versa, about the same. So
Very
Kyle's
good.
pitch. Nothing's funnier to me, by the way, than when Kyle's pitching and they like kind of put the book down and they start looking at the Pokemon. Kyle's still going.
So tell me about these. I can't. I tell you about.
Oh no, Kyle is
Samurnauts.
consummate. If
Oh, I'm
somebody
sure.
asks,
He's on it.
He starts pitching the cards, which is my favorite.
So is it all Pokemon based?
Right now, yes. 97 designs I have in total. And then like there's some remnants that I did that are still sticking around. I have like 4 or 5 cards left, and I will not give up. I will put them on the rack until someone buys them. So
I'm going to make a suggestion. I know everyone gives you suggestions, but
I
I'm
love
going to give you a marketing eyeball suggestion. Okay. The big trend that I'm seeing for doing something like what you're talking about, not even mash it up, is taking whatever the popular anime is. You do One Piece, mash it up with Marvel, you will print money.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, if I derail outside of Pokemon, but I'll say like as of late, I did all the Marvel characters, I did DC characters, I did movies and television and video games, and then I started doing anime Pokemon mashups.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10 these days, like that's what catches people's eye.
It's the trend, man. That's what I'm saying. But if you did a series, take one of your racks. Now you're going to have a 5th rack, and just do like Anime All Stars, but mash them with the same thing you're mashing right now. Pick your Marvel, especially now the DC stuff is starting to, because of James Gunn, it's going to be more popular again.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to need so many racks. I mean, you're going to be the rack guy.
You know, if I can make an excuse to mash up GI Robot with like Neon Genesis Evangelion, I'll do it.
You'll do it.
But I mean, it's what I find, especially like with the anime stuff. What I've like recognized with the Pokemon, it's like I try to do the most recognized character of the show, and not really go off the beaten path with some of these. What does happen though is if somebody orders a custom from me, part of the package deal is that you get the 4x6 card and a poster. But I have to print a minimum of 25 cards, so the rest of them go up onto the rack, and it's sort of like a social experiment. Like, okay, well, let's see if somebody else has your taste, right? There's one of my mashup cards that I know the name that the guy gave it. I don't know the Pokemon. I don't know the anime it's based on, but it's sold about 10 times. And every time it does, I message him. I'm like, hey, another person out there with your exact same taste.
Wow.
He's very excited. And we have a standing bet that all the cards will be gone by the end of this year.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. Unless they don't let you in any cons, because that is also a safe bet.
Well, hey, the people out east love us. Dragon Con has always
Dragon Con's got to be really good for you.
It's been one of our best shows. When we first got in, hilariously, the first year we got there was the last year they were all still in the basements of the hotels.
Wow.
So we got to see what Nerd Mardi Gras was like.
Yeah.
Before they kicked us all out to America's Mart, which is a better experience for us, just like not being, it's one of those things, especially this is, way pre-COVID. It's our first experience of what we call the wave of humanity, where there are so many people in the room that there's not even room to browse. It's just getting into like a highway lane.
I've been in a couple of situations like that. We were in Madison for Wizard World. Mm-hmm. We were doing all these panels and all this stuff, and it was good. It was busy, right? And then I think it was Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. It was a meat market. You could not move. It was crazy.
Oh, if you're
And
claustrophobic, it's the worst.
oh my God, it was nuts. And here I am trying to get to a panel that I had to host. And I'm like, I can't get through this.
I find what you're supposed to do is if you keep shouting to the crowd where your exit is, that hopefully they'll move you.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, I have a funny story. You'll appreciate this. When we were at that Madison Comic-Con, I'm standing there. I was talking to somebody. I don't remember who. And and Chris was there, my friend Chris. You'll appreciate this. The Chris puppet is still with us every time we do shows. So yes, there's Chris. And this guy, everyone's in cosplay and all that, right? This guy comes walking by and he's got a bathrobe on and he's got pajama pants and he's got like a shirt like this. And he's just walking around. And Chris goes, "Oh, wow, this is deep cosplay. He's cosplaying you." That was the ultimate. From then on, it was like I was cosplayed because that was exactly how I look most of the time.
I'll take it. No one's cosplayed as us, thank God. We did have a Samurnauts cosplayer for a couple of years, which was pretty cool. We did. It was actually our first Kickstarter. Before, like when Kickstarter kind of came into the chat, if you will.
Yeah, when it was first kickstarting itself.
Yeah, I had kind of made this probably way too egotistical. Like, I will never use Kickstarter to fund my book. Like, you got to do that on your own. Like, Kickstarter should be for, like, the weird flights of fancy that you could never do otherwise. So our first Kickstarter was $1,500 to make as good a Samurnauts costume as we could make. We met this husband-wife duo, Malmy Studios, in Ohio. And they did, like, hand-sculpted cast armor pieces like in rubber, and they were such cool people that we wanted to work with them. They gave us a price and we're like, okay, we can figure this out. And we did like everyone else did. We begged, borrowed, and stole and pestered everybody we knew until we could get it done, and we got the Samurnaut armor done. It was very cool, but it was built on top of a wetsuit, and the intention was to wear it for a couple of hours, and then you take it off. Our model, who was also the guy in the book, was so obsessed, he wore it the whole show.
Oh, wow.
So when it was time, we gave that thing a Viking funeral.
I bet the I bet the odor off of that was something to behold.
The Rubbermaid tote that held it actually started sending me emails after it gained sentience.
It's like, did you ever watch The Young Ones?
A little bit.
Okay, I was a huge fan of the Young Ones. There's an episode when they've got to do their laundry, and it's obviously like, okay, man, it's been like 2 months since any of us did laundry. So they put their laundry, and of course they have like 4 pieces of laundry each. Like, so it's bad. And they go to take their laundry, they put it in the laundry bag, and the laundry bag like drops out of his hand. He's like, "Oh no!" And one of the socks jumps out, and they're like, "It's getting away!" And this sock like looks back at him, and then starts running away from him. And they're like, "Oh no, man! You went too long before the laundry. It's alive." That was that. I think of that often, and that was your rubber suit.
It was very much that, and like when we excommunicated it from the company. The model was like, "Please, guys, there's got to be a way." And I just looked at him like, "You find the dry cleaner."
Right, you do it.
Like, we'll be happy to. And he gave it a good college try, and he came back and he's like, "Nah, no dice."
Yeah.
But it's something for us to keep in mind.
It's a good story too.
Hey, if nothing else, like it was great to have it because he dressed up like the Samurnaut, and his partner at the time, Charisse, who's also one of the Samurnauts. She just wore like a mini skirt and a Samurnauts t-shirt, and he got so PO'd when like people would come to take pictures, and they're like, "Oh no, not you, just And
just a Samurnaut.
Right?
Was he your monkey man? Is that who he was?
He was the blue Samurnaut.
The blue samurai. Oh, very good. See, now I would think that if you're going to get cosplayers, that would be one that people would start doing.
Well, yeah, if we were lucky, and had we been smart enough about it, we probably should have just done the monkey cosplay. But I think, if I recall, the pushback internally was like, everyone's just going to assume it's the Monkey King, and we're going to spend more time explaining to people that it's not.
Right.
That's not worth the time. So we're like, let's just make a cool looking suit. And because we were friends with Eric and Sharice, and Eric's like, I will be, just say the day, I will be there. So we're like, congratulations, you win.
You win.
Yes. I did get to keep the weapon, though, which was awesome.
That's very cool. So, okay, Samurnauts is going strong. You have a new book?
Yes, newish. Samurnauts to the Max debuted just a little bit towards the tail end of last year, but it is the new issue of Samurnauts. This is the first time in series history, if you will, where it is one artist for the whole book. It's one time period for the whole book, and in this case, it's all me. I wrote it, I drew it.
Wow.
It's all mine. Now, what we came away with when we produced the graphic novel was, where do we go from here? Because we told the complete story. Our notion to challenge ourselves was each one of us would take our own Samurnaut story in a time, so that we could kind of build this grander timeline. Because the book is about samurai astronauts led by an immortal kung fu monkey. So we figure, pick a time period, make it fun, do it by yourself. Kyle obviously needs himself an artist, and Matt needs some writing help, but we've got all that coordinated. So right now we're actually,
first of the three?
this is the first book of those three. So the idea is all issue ones come out, all issue twos come out, all issues threes come out, and then we smash the whole thing together. And based on our current timeline, my youngest child should be graduating college by the time that's done.
Perfect. And you're going to fund that with mashups.
We're very lucky. Samurnauts and Unshaven Comics has been self-funded since we came out with the trade.
Very good. Oh, I love to hear that. You've got other books in here. I'm looking at, Samurnauts is just amazing. That was actually, I think, what drew me to your booth the very first time. But you've got Blooms and Toolbox. These are two that I don't know.
Yeah, so effectively, as Kyle likes to say, since he is not an artist, he wants to continue to create outside of the Samurnauts. So he started making the books that he would want to buy. And as he likes to say it, and I agree, sometimes you go to an artist alley and someone wants to sell you an issue one, and if you don't happen to catch that guy at the next show, you may only have that issue one in perpetuity if you don't follow up.
Yeah.
So he wanted to create a series of one-shot books, 72 pages, in and out, competitively priced, $10. So, like, here's the whole story. You don't ever have to see my ugly face again. Just get the book and go. And
I think that's perfect.
It works super well. He's partnered with amazing artists both times. Toolbox was done by Kirsten Gutznick, who immediately following this book got the gig working on the Minecraft comic.
Wow.
Kyle likes to do these 72-page one-shots. It started with Toolbox, and it was a great experiment. And then he partnered with Stephanie Meited on Bloom's Heist on the Magical Girl Vault. Hilariously, Matt and I have been trying to quasi-bully him into writing a sequel to that, even though these are supposed to be one-and-dones. But if you read it, it's so good. And it's screaming for more content. And the pitch machine that guy is, he knows, like, he's put together the right things, because every time he tells somebody it's Sailor Moon meets Ocean's 11.
Oh, see?
Right.
They probably get that reaction, right?
They do. And we're like, the book is great. I'm like, you set yourself up. And he just sort of like, it's the only time I see Kyle be bashful. He's like, no, I'm just going to he's got some steampunk horror thing he wants to do next. I'm like, that's fine, but people are going to be asking for Blooms.
Yep, they are. They definitely are. Well, it's you've got the right combination too. The art style in all of this is great. For that one, it's that YA itch is scratched.
Yep.
Because that is the way it looks, the colors, I guess it all comes out of Scott Pilgrim at some point. But
it's got that Cal Arts, yeah.
It's got that super, but it's a super popular look right now. And yeah, I mean, I saw it immediately. I was like, oh yeah, I can think of 10 people that would want to read this right now. And actually, Toolbox, I feel the same way. And you know me, I'm a big fan of that monkey. So I think Unshaven has my business.
You know, we've been going strong, and last year was a huge thing for us. We actually took a giant leap of faith and went out to the licensing expo, which is not something independent brands like ours would go and do, but it just happened to be right place, right time. I filled out the wrong lead intake form. I blame the expo because the ad was misleading. It said, "Do you have the greatest new action figure idea?" And I'm like, "I do. It's called the Samurnauts." And their shtick was, "Great, come to the show." Like, that has nothing to do with, okay, whatever.
Right.
So we negotiated a effectively Comic-Con Artist Alley style booth at this giant show where the regular booth is 20 by 20. Wow. And we were on like this little row of other tiny creators. And the funny thing is, we did the same shtick. Kyle held up the sign, and we just changed it from buying the book to hearing about our property.
Yeah.
And we went in with zero expectation. We figured if we went and fell on our faces, we would have a great anecdote about trying. But we really worked our butts off for it. I know I did for 3 months. I pre-marketed and tried to get as many meetings as possible. And when we left the show, I had literally a binder full of notes and business cards. I followed up with every single one of them. I put it into a spreadsheet. I mean, we were trying to see what we could actually get done. And successfully, now we can say it live on a show. We have a video game.
All right.
And we have an agent.
Wow.
Which is really, like, both of those things, it doesn't even feel real exactly.
Right.
But we're still, the video game itself is live if people actually go and search for it. It's on Roblox. If you just search for Samurnauts on Roblox, it shows up.
Fantastic.
And we're still improving that one. And we're really excited. We partnered with a great team of developers that we met at that show, and they loved everything about it. They're like, we weren't really thinking we were going to partner with like an indie brand, but this is too cool not to do. So we're
yeah.
Awesome. And the agent literally just young guy stopped by the booth. He had a great accent. Turns out he's in London by way of South Africa. And he heard the whole pitch and said, "This is great. My dad and I are kind of like a father-son brand of agents, and I think this would be great. I think we could do something with this." And we finished all the, back and forth and the lawyers and the contracts and the crazy stuff. And somehow through all of that fog of war, we wound up having this father-son duo that are looking for every which way to put out Samurnauts and get it connected to new audiences and new places.
Amazing.
Well, we're extremely exciting.
That is so great. Oh, I hope this all goes extremely well for you.
Like anything else, for us, as it's been for 15 plus years, it's about the journey. It is not about the ends.
Yeah.
If nothing happens, we have a lifetime of fans, friends, memories, places that we would have never been. So like, we are just here to have that fun. Several times last year throughout that process, people came to us and asked, like, why don't you do this full time? Like, what's stopping you? And we always said, well, there's 3 of us. That's what's stopping us.
Right.
Because you're not facilitating 3 salaries with full benefits for fathers of 8 children between the 2 of us, or 3 of us. So,
well, 2 of you had 8 children together. Then
yes.
The third guy, it's complicated.
We can't mention those kids. No, but like, it's just one of those things where, like, this is truly a project of passion. It's a permanent side hustle, as we like to say. And it's the kind of thing where you can't take it away from us. The game exists. Kids are playing it. And we're locked into this agent for 5 years. So
wow,
they got 5 years to figure something fun out to do. And they've got some really, really interesting things that they're pitching us at, and hopefully, if literally any one of them came true, like it's just part of that. Like, we never thought in a million years this would happen. Like, in all honesty, when we came out with the March and we did our first show and we sold 47 books at Wizard World Chicago in 2008.
Yeah, wow.
And we thought we were kings.
Oh, man, 47 books that first time out?
Yeah.
You are kings.
We thought this is great. And then we moved down to, like, we still kick ourselves about this. This was so bad. A year later, when we came back to that show, we were selling a preview book, a floppy copy that didn't even have a complete story in it. And we even cut the bottom third of the cover and put famous author autograph area.
Okay.
It only took 10 plus years for that to come true, that not famous, but still funny and stupid.
I think that's your brand, Mark. I mean, no offense.
Yes.
So, okay, we're about out of time. A couple of important things. I want people to know where they can order commissions, where they can get your Pokemon mashups, where they can order these amazing books. And let's start there.
Yes. So everything can be found through unshavencomics.com. If you want a Poke Mashup, pokemashup.com. Either or. All links you can find through Unshaven Comics or even through my personal website, marcalanfishman.com. My whole life is up there. Feel free to click on any of those links. You can buy comics, you can make commissions, the whole shebang, or really just find me on social media anywhere and just
That's
ask.
the second question. What's the best place for people to interact with you?
For Unshaven Comics, we are at Unshaven Comics on Facebook and Instagram, soon to be on TikTok. And you can find me personally at Unshaven Mark on the same platforms. I am on TikTok, but there's nothing good there. I don't do dances. I don't do audio things. Mainly, I just repost weird political things, and then on rare occasions, my kids will do something funny.
I'm entertained.
Yes.
So I have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got anything coming up?
Next thing for us is going to be Dragon Con. Labor Day weekend in Atlanta. For those in the area, please come out and see us. We are looking at some shows in October, November as well. I believe in the Wisconsin area. So hopefully we'll be able to round out our 2025. And then we are absolutely starting to apply to shows for 2026. So you will catch us somewhere.
Seriously, Mark, you got to catch them all, don't you?
You do. The problem is there's too many of them.
There's just too many. There's too darn many of these things, Mark.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. I will put this stuff in the show notes. I cannot say it enough. I encourage people to buy these books. They're fantastic. You're going to be in love with them. Order from these guys. Keep them going. Keep them in business. Let's be that tipping point that makes it so 3 salaries, 19 kids, health insurance, it's all paid for because of this podcast.
Yes.
Mark, thank you so much for being on. It was really great. It's been a while since I've seen you, so I was really enjoying this.
Good to see you again, and hello to the expansive universe that you have built.
It's shrinking every day. So sad. Goodbye, Mark.
Bye.